Number one, sit with your thoughts. Most people are terrified of silence. That's why we constantly scroll, watch videos, or distract ourselves, because the moment everything gets quiet, our real thoughts show up. Your insecurities, your regrets, your fears. But if you can learn to sit alone without escaping yourself, you become mentally stronger than most people. Number two, go through failure without announcing it. Not every struggle needs an audience. Sometimes you fail quietly, you lose motivation, you embarrass yourself, you feel behind in life, and nobody comes to save you. Learning to rebuild yourself privately is one of the most painful and powerful things you can do. Number three, eat alone in public. This sounds small, but for many people it feels deeply uncomfortable. You feel judged, awkward, like everyone is watching you. But being able to enjoy your own company without needing constant validation is freedom. Confidence starts when loneliness stops feeling like punishment. Number four, make difficult decisions. At some point, nobody can choose for you anymore. Not your parents, not your friends, not the internet. You have to decide what kind of life you want, who you want to become, what you're willing to sacrifice. And the scary part, you'll never be 100% sure you're making the right choice. Number five, walk away from people you love. Sometimes the people you care about the most are also the people hurting you the most, and leaving them feels impossible. But protecting your peace often requires painful distance. Not every goodbye is dramatic. Some happen quietly through silence and self-respect. Number six, face your own bad habits. It's easy to blame life. Harder to admit you procrastinate, you avoid responsibility, you sabotage yourself, you waste time. Real growth begins when excuses end, and nobody can do that self-reflection for you. Number seven, start over. Few things feel scarier than beginning again. New city, new routine, new mindset, new version of yourself. Starting over makes you feel lost before it makes you feel better, but sometimes your old life has to fall apart so a better one can finally begin. Number eight, spend time without constant attention. A lot of people don't actually want peace. They want distraction, notifications, messages, validation. But learning to exist without constantly being seen is important, because your value doesn't disappear when nobody is looking at you. Number nine, accept that some people will never understand you. Not everyone will support your goals. Some people will misunderstand your silence, your ambition, your boundaries, and trying to explain yourself to everyone becomes exhausting. Maturity is realizing you don't need universal approval to move forward. Number 10, take responsibility for your life. Eventually, blaming your past stops helping. Yes, life can be unfair. Yes, people can hurt you, but at some point, your future becomes your responsibility. And that realization is uncomfortable, but also empowering, because it means you still have control over what happens next. Number 11, apologize without expecting forgiveness. Real accountability isn't saying sorry and waiting for a reaction. It's owning your mistakes even when the other person never responds, never forgives, and never comes back. The apology isn't for them, it's proof to yourself that you've grown. Number 12, celebrate yourself quietly. Most people only feel proud when someone else validates them, a like, a comment, a compliment. But learning to acknowledge your own progress without needing an audience is a sign of real maturity. You did something hard. That matters, whether anyone noticed or not. Number 13, sit in uncertainty without panicking. Not knowing what comes next with your career, your relationship, your future is deeply uncomfortable. Most people fill that uncertainty with distractions or forced decisions just to feel in control. But learning to stay calm in the unknown is one of the most underrated life skills you can build. Number 14, ask for help without feeling ashamed. Doing things alone doesn't mean suffering in silence. It means knowing when you genuinely need support and being brave enough to reach out without letting pride get in the way. Strength isn't refusing help. Strength is knowing when you need it. Number 15, set a boundary and stick to it. Anyone can say no in the moment. The harder thing is holding that boundary when the other person pushes back, guilt trips you, or acts hurt. Most people fold not because they change their mind, but because they can't tolerate disappointing someone. Learning to stay firm, alone, without reassurance changes everything. Number 16, grieve without rushing yourself. Society tells you to move on fast. Get over it. Stay strong. But real healing doesn't follow a schedule. Learning to sit with loss of a person, a dream, a version of yourself without forcing a timeline is something most people never learn. Pain processed honestly hurts less in the long run. Number 17, stop comparing your life to others. When you're alone with your own thoughts, comparison hits hardest. You scroll through someone's highlights and suddenly your entire life feels like a failure. Learning to measure yourself against who who you were yesterday, not who someone else appears to be today, is a daily practice that changes how you see everything. Number 18, do the right thing when no one is watching. Character isn't what you show people. It's what you do when you're alone, when there's no reward, no recognition, and no consequence for cutting corners. How you behave in private is who you actually are, and eventually that truth always shows. Number 19, forgive someone who never said sorry. Waiting for an apology that never comes keeps you locked in a prison the other person doesn't even know exists. Forgiving them doesn't mean what they did was okay. It means you've decided your peace matters more than your anger. That's something only you can do, quietly, alone, and completely on your own terms. Number 20, choose yourself even when it feels selfish. There will always be someone who needs more of you than you can give. More time, more energy, more sacrifice. But consistently emptying yourself for others while ignoring your own needs isn't noble, it's how you disappear. Learning to prioritize yourself without guilt is not selfishness, it's survival, and it's something only you can decide to do.